Good evening, you're watching AWANI Tonight with me, Faye Kwan. Starting tomorrow, the speed limit on federal roads nationwide will be lowered from 90 kilometers per hour to 80 kilometers per hour until February 2nd as part of Op Bersepadu for the Chinese New Year period. Works Minister Datuk Sri Alexander Nantalinggi says the reduction aims to reduce the risk of road accidents during the 6-day operation.
To further ease traffic flow, non-critical road repair and maintenance work will be temporarily halted, while emergency works for safety will be carefully planned. Nanta also urged road users to ensure their cars are in good condition, take proper rest and be in good health before starting their journey to avoid fatigue. Drivers should also check that their RFID, touch and go and debit cards have enough funds to prevent congestion at toll plazas.
Malaysia and Indonesia have agreed to enhance cooperation and leverage their strengths across various sectors, including oil and gas, as well as defence. In a joint press conference, Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim says both countries will also continue to expand collaboration in education, food technology and energy.
Jadi hal itu hanya akan berlaku sekiranya ada bukan saja persefahaman, kedekatan, keyakinan dan trust di kalangan pimpinan dan pasukan pimpinan.
Indonesian President Prabowo Subianto is on a state visit to Malaysia at the invitation of the Yang di-Pertuan Agong Sultan Ibrahim. He was accorded a full state welcome at the Istana Negara and conferred the most esteemed order of the Johor Royal. It marks the president's first state visit to a Southeast Asian country since his inauguration in October last year.
Police will soon recall witnesses in the Teoh Beng Hock case after the Kuala Lumpur High Court ordered last November a thorough re-investigation into his death. Bukit Aman CID Director Datuk Sri Muhammad Shuhaili Muhammad Zain confirms that relevant witnesses will be identified and their statements recorded after the Chinese New Year holiday.
Seperti mana semua sedia maklum, kes ini dah berusia 15 tahun. Lamanya tak salah saya. So, saya sedang mengarahkan pegawai saya untuk melihat balik crime scene. There's a lot of changes, they told me. Tapi saya sendiri akan turun ke Padang untuk melihat crime scene itu balik, ya. So yes, we are in the process of revisiting balik lah IP tu, ya. So sampai tempoh masanya nanti kita akan serahkan kepada pihak AG untuk dibawakan kepada pemakluman mahkamah.
On November 21st last year, the Kuala Lumpur High Court ordered the police to complete their re-investigation into Teoh's death within 6 months. The former Selangor Exco 8 died on July 16, 2009 on the 5th floor of Plaza Masalam Shah Alam after being questioned for hours by the MACC. An inquest returned an open verdict, but in 2014, the Court of Appeal ruled that his death was caused by one or more persons unknown. 2 special investigation teams were set up in 2011 and 2015 to look into Teoh's death, but both investigations were later classified as requiring no further action by the public prosecutor.
The Chief Operating Officer of Prolintas, Rostam Sharif Tami, has been charged with accepting a bribe of 70,000 ringgit linked to a highway project. The 59-year-old pleaded not guilty when the charge was read to him before Sessions Court Judge Rosli Ahmad today.
Rostam is accused of accepting the bribe from Satunas Technologies Sdn Bhd in exchange for awarding work packages related to the privatization of the Sungai Besi Uluklang Elevated Expressway Suka project. The offence was allegedly committed at the parking lot of a mosque in Kampung Datuk Keramat, Kuala Lumpur on April 12, 2023. Rostam was charged under Section 16AA of the MACC Act 2009. He faces up to 20 years in prison and a minimum fine of 10,000 ringgit if convicted. In June last year, the MACC launched an investigation into Prolintas into alleged corruption surrounding the billion ringgit highway project.
Agriculture and Food Security Minister Datuk Sri Muhammad Sabu has pledged to work with relevant agencies to address farmers' calls to raise the paddy floor price. This follows a memorandum submitted by paddy farmers, represented by NGO Pesawah to the Prime Minister's office, urging the government to increase the price of paddy from 1,300 ringgit to 1,800 ringgit.
Pesawah Chairman Abdul Rashid Yop said the current price is outdated, considering the increase in operating costs since 2023. The farmers also voiced their opposition to the plant seed quality bill that is expected to be tabled by the ministry next month. Rashid said the bill was drafted without any engagement with the organization and claimed that the bill would burden the small-scale farmers. Over 300 farmers gathered at the ministry earlier today before their memorandum was received by the Prime Minister's political secretary, Chan Min Kai, on behalf of the Prime Minister.
13 children linked to former members of GISB Holdings have yet to be claimed by their parents. Women, Family and Community Development Minister Dato' Sri Nancy Shukri says of the total, 11 have been placed with suitable caregivers.
The remaining children will stay in Social Welfare Department JKM institutions for 3 years as ordered by the court. According to Nancy, the parents initially expressed interest in claiming their children, but later changed their minds, though it is unclear whose advice influenced their decision. While they may wish to take legal action, Nancy urged for the parents to come forward and prioritize the children's needs. 560 children were rescued from charity homes linked to GISB across the country last September, after investigations found that they were suspected to be exploited and sexually abused.
We'll head for a quick break. Stay tuned.
Kerap menggaru kulit kepala disebabkan kelomomor, masalahnya lebih mendalam. Gunalah Head & Shoulders menembusi 5 lapisan untuk membasmi kelomomor dan kegatalan. Bebas kelomomor sehingga 100%. Head & Shoulders diuji secara dermatologi. Rambut gugur lagi? Macam mana Gunakan Pantene Baharu dengan provitamin mikro yang meresap dan menguatkan rambut dari dalam. Rambut 10 kali lebih kuat terhadap rambut gugur. Pantene Baharu.
Start hari ini, aku netu tepat aku sendiri.
Kapal High Council. Early access di rumah. Sewa dan stream on demand atau sila ke saluran 480.
Welcome back. Hundreds of thousands of Palestinians are returning to northern Gaza after Hamas and Israel reached a deal to release 6 hostages this week. Their return, originally set for Saturday, was delayed due to a dispute over Abel Yahud, an Israeli civilian still held by Hamas. Drone footage shows Palestinians walking along Gaza's main roads on Monday morning. The first residents were seen arriving in Gaza City just after a key crossing reopened at 7 a.m. Hamas had released 4 soldiers on Saturday, but not Yahud, leading to Israel to accuse Hamas of breaching the ceasefire deal. The group has reportedly shown proof of life to mediators, and Yahud is expected to be delivered to the Red Cross with 2 other hostages on Thursday. Both engines of the Jeju airplane that crashed in South Korea last month contained duck remains, according to a preliminary report released by investigators. However, officials have yet to determine the cause of the crash, which stands as the deadliest aviation disaster in the country's history, claiming 179 lives.
The report released by authorities a month after the crash revealed that both engines of the Boeing 737-800 jet contained DNA from Baikal teals, a type of migratory duck that flocks to South Korea for the winter. However, the report did not offer any initial conclusions on what caused the plane to land without its landing gear deployed, or why the flight data recorders stopped working in the final 4 minutes of the flight. The report highlighted key initial findings, including the pilot's awareness of a flock of birds during the plane's final approach. The exact timing of the bird strike remains unconfirmed, but the pilots made a mayday call during a go-around reporting the bird strike. The flight from Bangkok crash-landed at Muan International Airport on December 29th, overshooting the runway, crashed into an embankment and exploded into a fireball.
The United States and Colombia have averted a trade war for now after Bogota agreed to accept deportation flights from the US. In response, the White House says it will freeze plans for tariffs and sanctions against the South American nation. Tensions ran high on Sunday after President Donald Trump threatened steep tariffs and visa restrictions when Colombia turned away 2 deportation flights. Colombian President Gustavo Petro had initially barred 2 U.S. military deportation flights from landing in the country on Sunday, saying that migrants should be returned with respect. In response, Donald Trump announced retaliatory measures in a post on his social media site, Truth Social, proposing a 25% tariff on all Colombian goods, visa sanctions, and enhanced inspections of Colombian nationals at the border. The White House confirmed Trump's tariffs have been drafted and would still be implemented if Colombia failed to honor the current agreement. Colombia, Latin America's 4th largest economy, said a dialogue would be maintained with the U.S. to ensure the dignity of its citizens. Petro's presidential plane has also been prepared to facilitate the return of Colombians who were on the 2 blocked military flights. New Zealand is set to relax its visa regulations, allowing holiday makers to work remotely while visiting the country in a bid to boost its tourism sector and economy. Starting today, Immigration Minister Erica Stanford announced that visitor visas will be updated to permit travellers to work during their stay. The new rules will allow remote work for employers or clients outside New Zealand. However, visitors working remotely for over 92 days in a year may face potential tax obligations. The initiative is part of the government's broader strategy to revive tourism and attract skilled individuals during a challenging economic period. New Zealand's economy entered a technical recession in the 3rd quarter of 2024. Tourism, which contributes over $11 billion annually to the economy, has yet to fully recover from the COVID-19 border closures, with international visitor numbers reaching only about 86% of 2019 levels. Heatwave warnings have been issued for most of Australia, with temperatures climbing above 40 degrees Celsius. Extreme fire danger is forecast for the state of Victoria and much of eastern South Australia, prompting total fire bans in high-risk areas.
Temperatures are forecast to reach 41 degrees Celsius in Victoria's capital, Melbourne. It would be 14 degrees Celsius above the city's average maximum temperature in the month of January. In New South Wales, the country's most populous state, the heat wave is set to intensify from Tuesday onwards. The Bureau of Meteorology warned that the current burst of hot and windy conditions are expected to be followed by a cool change, sparking fires that may become uncontrollable and uncontainable.
That report wraps up AWANI Tonight. Now do check out our web portal, keeping you informed on the critical events shaping our world, all in one place at international.astroawani.com. That's all for now. I'm Faye Kwan. Thank you for watching and good night.